Welcome back to Studio 5. If you buy into the idea that a marriage should be a living, breathing relationship, how do you know if that relationship is healthy?
Studio 5 relationship coach Matt Townsend has 5 must-answer questions to help gauge just how healthy your marriage is. Can we dive in?
Yes, let's get into it.
Okay, this first question can help diagnose what you call a relationship cancer. You say it's important to ask, do you see your partner's contribution to the marriage as more positive, negative, or neutral?
Yes. Now, check it out. Research says if you see your partner as negative, what will you end up doing with your partner?
Probably treating them negatively, being defensive or whatever.
Basic rule, you cannot not communicate. So if I think you're a negative influence on my relationship, I'm going to communicate negative to you. I'm going to see you as a drain, you're killing me, you're no good, you're taking it out on me. I'm going to see everything you do as problematic.
So how do you reframe that perspective?
Well, you don't. So that's the big rub right there. No, actually, part of what it is, you choose how you interpret. So it's called negative interpretation. And there's really good reasons why people don't do things. We've talked about this a million times on the show. Some of us just don't do things because we don't know how. It didn't work last time. Last time you yelled at me, so I'm not going to do it. So part of it is give them the benefit of the doubt. The problem is it's a sign. If you see everything they're doing as negative, then it really is a sign. It's called negative interpreting, and you're probably on the death spiral. And it's something that you need to take seriously and get going. Okay?
If you honestly view them as negative, and you're saying, oh, just try to view them as positive, someone's going to say, well, it is negative. They are doing negative. Is that still just negative perception? Or
half of it's probably negative perception, and half of it's just a bunch of bad data that they're producing. The reality is if that's the only thing you pick up in your partner is the negativity, then you're in trouble, because then it doesn't matter what he does or she does. So one of the things we want you to look for here is the sign. If you have a sign where you see everything they're doing is negative, that's a critical sign. That's a sign you need help.
What if I'm going to play devil's advocate, what if you're just in the neutral zone? You said the question included negative, neutral, or positive. What if you find yourself...
It's still a pretty good sign. I can still see the good things now, but it's a sign you might be trending. The hardest thing to change in a partnership is the negative interpretation. It's one of the hardest things to fix, because once you are sure it's broken, then it's broken. So this is the early warning detector, which is why we had to be the first question.
Okay, can we get number 2? This question number 2, which you say is really at the heart of a lot of complaints and people are coming into marriage counseling. Can you and your partner effectively communicate and solve real-life problems in your marriage?
Number 1 issue. When couples go get marriage counseling, their number 1 complaint to marriage counselors is we can't communicate. Then every other issue comes in. We can't talk about money, sex, kids, drugs, whatever, alcohol. So the communication, can you ask yourself as a partnership, can you have an issue that doesn't go well and talk it through and come to a resolution and move forward on it? And can you do that effectively and together, and does it stick? Because if not, that's another sign of a potential cancer. Negative interpretation and the inability to communicate is really a dangerous thing.
A death sentence, really, as you spell it out like that.
That hurts.
Okay, the next question asks about not just what kind of a connection you have with your spouse, but how often you make that connection. So you say to ask, do you connect with your partner in meaningful ways every single day?
Every single day. So think of this. If we're going to feed and connect and love each other, we've got to be doing it in meaningful ways every single day. The rules and research basically say you got to have and be connecting 3 to 5 times a day in meaningful ways.
3 to 5.
And they don't have to be big ways. Like, hey, we had an amazing romantic dinner with our 6 kids. It was so romantic. It could be something as simple as, you know what, we cuddled in bed for 10 minutes. Or when we got home and we went to that game, we sat by each other and we held hands. It can be just simple, tiny little things, but things that you would both recognize as meaningful, coordinated, meaning we're both doing it in a coordinated way. We both know it's supposed to happen, and fulfilling to both of you.
So even just a quick kiss on your way out the door can... We're like checking out the fruits and vegetables now.
Sure.
3 to 5.
Yeah, you know,
1 to 5.
I don't mean to act like 3 to 5, but 3 to 5 can be a lot.
That is a lot of time to love someone.
Meaningful things.
No, it is. Seriously.
Because, you know, we get stuck in our ruts and we do our stuff, and if you miss the kisses, you're heading out the door.
So you know what? You only really have to have 1 meal a day. Or you could have 3 to 5 little meals. Darren. You don't fight feeding, brother.
We're going to have to find a download for Darren that includes 3 to 5 meaningful connections.
These are just little snacks. You have 3 to 5 snacks a day. I mean, you go through Reese's Pieces like crazy. You're just shoveling them. I know that.
The Reese's Pieces are right at my elbow all day long. It's easy to get those. It's hard. You know, it's harder when you're anyway.
Okay, do you want me to save you here?
Yes, please do. Go on to the next one. I'm getting a bit sweaty here.
You say it's important to note if the relationship is progressing or moving forward.
Yes.
So how often should we check this?
Well, I would just check out what they're doing with Obama. Is the world better today than it was when Obama took That's the check I want you to do. Is our marriage today better today than it was a month ago? I personally believe if your marriage is progressing, most of us are going to have hope. Most of us are going to stick it out. It's when we don't see progress. And the problem is, most of us don't see that we're off course until we're like off course 3 years. Then we're like, holy cow, this is serious. Now we're way off course. If we would just check off course every day or every week or every month, are you progressing? Was it better this week than it was last week? What if your promise with your partner was just simply, I'll make it better every month? Every month I'll get a tiny bit better. If you knew your partner was going to make progress every month, a little bit on their character, on their communication skills, on their ability to handle conflict, or their ability to find time to feed you, you know what? You've got forever to make it work as long as we're making it work.
What about, the yearning, earning, enduring kind of thing? What if I'm in the enduring part? Do I have to still be getting better each month, or can I be sort of like autopilot, I'm okay and I'm maintaining that level?
Yeah, good question. That would pretty much depend on you, if you think you need to improve forever. Not to keep beating up Darren, but if you keep asking these questions, Darren, we're going to have to come back.
But sometimes you're okay. You're at a good place and you're at a good level.
It is. Now, who is the judge of the good place and the good level will always be your spouse, Darren. It will not be you.
So clearly we need to invite Chrissy to our next round table.
You have to check your spouse, because remember, women filed for more divorces. Women are usually done 2 years before men are. So I'd always check in with them. Are we doing okay? How are we doing?
Okay.
I'll call my wife during the commercial break.
Okay, so if these last 4 questions maybe lean toward the fact that you need to work on your relationship a little bit more, you say this final question will show you where to start.
This is the feeding question, and it's just very simply, what's the most important thing I can do today? To start to love my partner, feed my partner, take care of my partner, serve my partner their way. So it might tell you need to learn to communicate. So go read a book on communication. You might need to have more date time. So we're going to have a date every single week. You might need to feed each other and quit eating Reese's Pieces and get home and feed your wife on time. But that question will prompt your soul, your spirit, your conscience to do something. Then you take whatever that's telling you to do and you go and do it. And then, but be serious about the 4 questions. If you've got some of those happening, don't pretend like it's going to get better in 10 years. Don't pretend like once our kids are gone, all our problems are going to go away. Because either we still are going to be positive or negative, or we're not going to know how to communicate, or we're not going to make time for each other.
Great ideas. Okay. I'm getting some Reese's Pieces. I'll bring them home to my wife today.
Yeah, they're all over your desk. They're all over your floor.
Yeah.
See, that's already 1 to 5 meaningful connections that you've accomplished.
See?
Does that count?
Yes,
She calls me every day, Dan.
And taking your spouse to date night would definitely be a meaningful connection.
Date night. This is the date night of all date nights, because this is the one where we talk about the art of positive relating. So if you have a lot of negativity in your marriage, this is how we teach you how to start seeing the positive. It's this Friday, October 28th, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, $35, but you get refreshments, and we laugh so much you'll have stuff coming out your nose.
You laugh, you cry, it's better than cats.
It's better than cats.
As we've been told.
And that would count as all 5 things.
We'd have it all.
If you do date, that's like 3 to 5.
If you do date night every month, you wouldn't need to do anything else.
Okay.
Okay,
The rest
you
of the
heard
month.
it here,
Thanks,
Matt.
Matt.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Well, we are